Hey, welcome to TDD.Academy. I'm Lancer Kine, and I'm here with solopreneur David Kuntz.
Hello. How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this show for a couple of weeks because I've go like, hey, I want to do some TDD in Kotlin, and so I'm enjoying the challenge.
Awesome.
So yeah, what else is going on in my life, or what else is going on in our lives? So Agile Thoughts is running a show. Oh, that's right, designers. I think we talked about this last week or a couple weeks ago. So the designer series is running. If you're into learning how designers can help you, or how designers can operate in an agile model, there's a show on Agile Thoughts podcast. You just Google Lancer Agile Thoughts, you will find the podcast.
Yeah, and you mean like UX designers, not like fashion
Taylor
designers,
Swift
right?
kind of swims both ways, so yeah.
Taylor, what a swimmer.
Designer of clothing
All right.
and apps.
Okay. All right.
What else is going on?
That's
Sci-Fi
awesome.
Thoughts is running a show. If you're into science fiction, which all of you should be, because we're talking about high-tech
Yeah, oh, we are.
stuff.
Yeah.
We're always making stuff we haven't had before. That's kind of like science fiction. Bill Preston of New York State, there's a series about him. He's an author and educator. He teaches high school. And let's see, this most recent episode was about genre. Ray Bradbury. I don't know if you're, do you know Ray Bradbury, David?
I know the name. He's an old-time author. I bet he's probably not even alive anymore.
I think that's correct. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's correct. And
He have something to do with Star Trek?
that's Gene Roddenberry, but for some reason that's common.
Okay. It's got a berry
Maybe
in
that's
there.
why. That's probably why. They're both from California, so Roddenberry's in L.A. where the movie industry is, and Bradbury's a writer. Bradbury's a director. Maybe he did some writing as well. But yeah, so Ray Bradbury wrote Fahrenheit 451. That's probably his most famous work.
Oh, yeah. Read that.
And then he's written a lot of. He's written ridiculous amounts of things. He wrote the Martian Chronicles, which is kind of like how do I say it? So there's like commercial science fiction, and then there's like kind of literary science fiction. Ray Bradbury's more the literary science fiction. So that's what Bill Preston and I talk about on that episode. Is we're talking about Bill, who's more of a literary science fictionist, and I try to corner him into a pigeonhole, and he's like fighting me back and talking about other writers who are like that, like Bradbury, and then how early American writers were hard to pigeonhole as well because they were just writing their own weird thing, and it doesn't really fit in one genre.
Oh. Before the genre had really jailed.
Right. But I always get him, David. I always say, well, when your book shows up in the bookstore, what shelf is it on? They go, well, that's science fiction. And that's where you would find Fahrenheit 451. You might find some of Bradbury's other work, though, in other areas, like Wicked This Way. Something Wicked This Way Comes, I think, is one of his books. It's not at all science fiction. It's about a kid growing up, and it's like the Erie, Indiana TV series. It's like a nostalgia piece about Midwestern childhood kid, and all these magical weird things happen, and ends up in a fix with the local mystery man and that kind of stuff. So it's more of a weird story rather than science fiction. Those probably are shelved in mainstream fiction somewhere. Well, hey.
All right.
Anything else? So you're not in
What
North
kind
Carolina.
of fiction are we writing here
go ahead.
today? What kind of fiction are we going to be writing
We are going
today?
to talk about social security numbers. So I've got my IDE fired up. Let's see what we got, because, folks, I haven't ran my tests yet, and I don't know what's going to happen when I run them. And here we are. So let's see how much we remember from 2 weeks ago. So we got this project, Kotlin, and we want to show a UI where you enter in a social security number. Everybody's got apps. Everybody's probably done this who's listening to the show. You've typed in some input. And, what kind of work does it goes into creating such kind of input fields that work really nice? Like if you're going to put your social security number in, aren't you annoyed if you have to go your number, which is 998 dash. Oh, I have to hit dash, and then you type along. So for some reason, we want our apps to put those dashes in there for us. My guess is because less manual work for people, and they don't have to. That's like 2 less things they have to do in a social security number when they type it in. Either that, or we're just trying to run up the billing on our clients.
Laziness is what I think. It's like you're teaching people to be lazy. Too lazy to find the dash key.
Wow. Let's see here. So yeah, and those of you who are watching live are probably wondering why I have this weird, like Halo-ish weird thing effect. I need to work on my studio lighting still. It's kind of messy there.
Oh yeah, the studio grips and stuff down in the Houston area aren't quite as good as the Seattle
those
grips.
Guys. Huh? You betcha, man.
Yeah.
Nice grips. Nice. Yeah. Some of those titles. I don't know what half of those titles are in a movie. I only know what the writers do, the actors, the director, stuntman, the Ralpher.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I know. Ralphing. I think that's.
I don't know what that is.
It's the sound effects for. It's a type of sound effects guy. I believe that's the one who makes up sound effects, like artificial sounds.
Yeah, like the.
Yeah. Right. But then there's also sound design, but I think it's a different thing. I don't know. So I'm making this up as I go.
Okay.
All right. Well, cool. Let's see what we can do code-wise. I think so. Here I am. I got this app up. I haven't even ran it for a while. Dave, what's my first move when I?
I think your first move better be to run your unit test, assuming you have some.
Get out of here. All right, let's try that. So those of you who know using...
your first move might be to compile the thing.
It's a modern IDE, baby. These things are...
It's compiling on the fly. Okay.
So I'm going to go up. I click on the app, folks. And, running your unit test should be like this. And I click on Run All Tests.
Oh, nice.
And what's it doing?
Okay. And it should pop up a run window of some nature.
Yeah.
So that it can indicate what test.
Tap on.
Oh my goodness. It's doing a Gradle build. Down at the bottom, I see a Gradle build blue bar.
Oops. And here it comes. Instantiating. And we have a test failure. 2 test failures, David. Now that was unexpected. I recall us leaving one test failure as a bookmark, so we knew what to do when we come back. But I had 2 test failures. I'm a little cranky about that.
Cranky, huh?
No class definition.
All right. So, what's the 2 test failures? I only see one. Class define. I don't know how to interpret DEF. No class def found error. We had to abbreviate in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah, well, that's a Javaism. Java Lang, blah, blah, blah. Android TextBox. So our instantiate class test failed. And I don't know. I wonder if I was mucking with things. Who knows? Let's see. And the after should have failed because it's got a fail message in there. We did not expect this to fail. So, let me check... see if I can embarrass myself on the show. See if I remember how to use the source control well enough to check and see if everything's up to snuff there. Git compare with. Let's see, 7.2. No differences. All right, that's what I checked in last. You know what? I'm going to rerun the test.
Yeah, really?
That's easier to just click the button. Right, did it again. All right, so no class definition found.
Okay.
So something's unhappy with my TextWatcher.
No class definition found. So what's the definition that's not found? TextWatcher?
That's a dependency.
So that's a dependency, so we probably need to import.
Well, there's no compile error though. All right, I'm going to do a clean build. Just because I came back from vacation mode and I'm trying to figure out what the world.
Yeah, you might want to delete your build environment. Delete the what's it called? Clean the build folder.
Oh yeah, right. I'm looking for that. I don't know if there's an option. Make project, recompile, and that's just one thing because probably have my selector.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, there's a clean. There it is. Clean, clean, clean. All right, we're cleaning. Yeah. Dun dun dun. And it says finished down here. It says Gradle build finish, folks. For those of you who are learning your Kotlin moves. And now we're going to make it again.
Make the whole kit and caboodle? Do you know what a kit and a caboodle
I have
is?
No idea.
I looked this up one time. Can't remember. The kit is all the camping equipment you have. And I can't remember what the caboodle is. But the kit is like your tent and your pots and pans and your saddles and stuff like that. That's all your kit. That's a common term in some places. I can't remember what the caboodle is. We need to know that. Write in and let us know what a caboodle is.
Folks. And we're broadcasting on LinkedIn again. So if you've come in from LinkedIn, welcome. Okay, so I haven't run the test again, so let me run the test. And run. There it is. Run all tests. Boom. Let's try it again. And I kind of expect the same thing to happen. I expect something got mucked up over vacation, and I don't know what that would be. All right, so it's not finding a dependency for some crazy reason, and that because this is the Android TextBox. I can point at the. Okay, wait a minute. Let's figure it. Okay, so this is a runtime error, not compile time. So runtime, and it's happening in this test. And there's a reference somewhere. So I have this is always so interesting. All right, sweet. Excuse me. We have a Social Security TextWatcher. So if I go look at that.
It probably.
There's TextWatcher.
There's TextWatcher.
And it's an Android TextWatcher. Wow, David. I think this is like a runtime environment problem. So folks, my simplest test has failed. Can't even find a line.
Yeah.
I don't like runtime environment problems. This is going to be a long show. That's the problem. Let me do something else. Okay, I'm just going to run the app, see if that works, because I want to see how bad things are. So run the app. I'm picking the context here. And so this is going to run the simulator. And it's not probably the same build configuration as the unit test. So we could have different results here. All right, so it comes up so far. Wait for it. Boom. Hello, my first fragment. You can ignore that. We can change that sometime to Social Security number. So we type in stuff. And if I go back over here, we're going to see, input. All right, so this is something to do with running the test. And maybe my context up here is wrong. So maybe this thing isn't set right. So that might be a reason. So I'm going to stop this. Not turn it off, but stop it. Or stop it here. I don't know. Stop it. Okay. Now, so this all text. So this is like, remember in our Java days, this has got it's got these run configurations, and I assume this is the one I just ran. And I'm going to go to the test again. What am I hoping for here? I guess I'm hoping that the run configuration knows where to find basic things like that if I get it working. But
you're hoping that by having run the app in one configuration that it covers the fact that we don't have the other configuration configured.
So, yes, right. And so look at this, Social Security TextWatcher test. So we got a bunch of choices here that may have been going on that we don't even know about. Okay, so that didn't work. I'm just going to run all these. I don't think that's really a thing. All right, so, wow. Holy smokes, folks. This is called run the test before the show so I can see if my environment works. All right, let's go up here. Wow. All right, I've never debugged an Android environment problem before. So this is not really an Android thing. This is in the idea. No class found. Maybe I just do the Google thing, huh? See what people say.
Yeah, but that's going to tell you, I mean, yeah, you can try it. It's going to tell you that you've got to patch up your configuration.
Okay, so you're saying like stop screwing around and go fix the run configuration? Is that what I'm hearing? All right, let's go look at that. Let's go. Okay, SSN security watcher test 1 blah blah blah. I should not have to do this. I don't know what happened. All right, so there's this JRE with a default. Maybe I need to pick one of these other ones, huh?
So I'm thinking you want to compare and contrast your running environment that worked with your unit test environment that's failing.
Smart man. Let's go here. Whoops, I want to edit that. I don't want to go do something to it. Edit. And default APK. They hide a bunch of things, probably because it's running in the.
All right. So is this run configuration the running one or the unit test one?
This is the running one. One pulls up the simulator.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So it's hiding a bunch of information so I don't see the same. I can't do the comparison like you. It was a good idea though.
Yeah.
Well, I think we got to go pick some things over in. How do I? Really? I don't like this menuing. Oh, here we go.
So,
yeah, what's that?
Yeah, so now look at those, and oh, they go really.
So this is VM options, where the other one is just like deploy the APK to probably a prepackaged. Oops, let's scroll down here. Simulator. All right. So I feel like we have to pick some things here. Here, I'll make a snapshot in case I make life worse, so I can make it unworse later.
Oh, you can definitely make life worse.
All right, so class path of module, text edit basic activity.app, and then there's the runtime. So I think it's a runtime problem. And for some reason, well, it's default, and default is API 30 platform, blah, blah, blah. That seems reasonable. And if I pick this one, it'll just be the same thing. I'm not saying default anymore. I'm just picking one. So,
given that it's, I don't know when these APIs might have come out. Should we go back to 29? Because
that's a good plan. Let's see what happens. Because yeah, right. Maybe I got an update, and maybe I'm working with something that's been deprecated, though. It's rather shocking. Let's run this again. Run, instantiate the test, yes. No.
All right, so that didn't help, huh?
Right. Well, I want to do the Google thing just in case somebody says, "Hey," and it's like, no, they're bringing it up like as in it's brand new news and it's happening to everybody else right now. Then that would be like kind of nice to, get that information. If it's old news stuff, then it's probably just something to find. All right, 2017, don't care about that. That's pretty old news. Well, I don't know. I kind of want to click on this one and read it. Android developers. Yeah, 2021. That's just the general idea. So, why would this...
See what it says.
Why would this happen?
Yeah.
When I run my test, I have the following error. Yes. And he's got some testing. Good man. Using Mockito and other complicated things a little bit. All right, now, I'm not sure if I had the same problem as you, but I'm using Gradle, and for some reason, tests just won't run anymore. The same error you tried. I tried cleaning, rebuilding, but to no avail. After hours of frustration. Wouldn't it be nice to avoid that, folks? The hours of frustration part.
Yeah. Remove the Gradle folder.
Remove the .gradle folder. What is in there? Must be a bunch of caching. Perfect. I had this problem after updating. Oh my gosh, it works. All right. Thanks a bunch, my friend. Wow, some happy customers there.
There's a command to run in the terminal.
Gradle or Gradle ooh.
What the heck is that?
That's what's in your attitude in the terminal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. I guess there's a couple. These are probably the same thing. Maybe we should try the command so we can be nicer. Now we got to find that class path. Wowzers. Let me go figure out how to ask the IDE where that is.
You ask the IDE to open a terminal.
Oh, can I do that? Ooh, there is a terminal. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see one? Oh.
All right. All right. So .gradle ew.
Ooh.
Clean test.
Is that how you spell ooh? E-W?
Yeah. Gradle with a W.
Yeah.
It's like that Java convention when you run in like JUnit. I don't remember what else. There was someone that you ended with a W on the end. I think in order to be an interactive terminal. All right, starting Gradle, blah, blah, blah. Incompatible daemon could not reuse. Use status for more detail. All right, some unhappiness going on there. Now it's configuring.
Configuring in order to delete files.
Hey man, this is what happens. You're going to see it live, folks.
This
is
is
what
Java
happens when you
land,
follow
man.
advice on a website.
This is Java land. I just don't have these problems in Swift land.
There was an episode where something was deleted in Xcode, so I'm just thinking about, yes, you don't have Gradle loop problems, but anyways.
Are you trying to say you do have these
Not
problems?
exactly. Definitely, I've never seen a class path there, but
okay.
wow. I mean, that scrolling just doesn't work very well. Anyways, so it's not very, I'm not seeing good stuff here. So I've got the world's simplest Gradle build because I've got like hardly doing anything and I'm having problems already. That's crazy. All right, so it's got some warnings. We knew about that. We're just getting started. What's going on here? Social security number, text, failed. So it ran my test as well. That might actually be okay. See, 2 tests completed, 1 failed. Hey, that actually sounds better than what we're seeing in interactive mode with the what am I trying to say here? The IDE. So what did I run? Is this really, so I just ran clean again and then told it to run the test. Okay, so that's not cleaning the,
So
that's
it
not cleaning the
cleaned it.
.gradle. I don't know if that's cleaning the .gradle file.
Yeah.
But we can so we could maybe run it again and see if we get a different result in the IDE.
Well, we should be finding the one test failure for the after text changed. We call fail.
Right.
So.
And I'm trying to, okay, let's confirm
Debug
that.
unit
There it
test.
is. Dash is added after third character failed, right? So this actually is right where we wanted to be like 15 minutes ago when we started the show. so this part
Okay.
looks right. Now the question is, what's going on? And
Go to your
what's
IDE
going on in
and
the
see
IDE?
if this will.
So let's see. Let's try running it again. And then if it doesn't work, maybe we go delete something. Okay.
Run test. Where's the run test
Must
button?
be- Yeah. Man, these build configurations are kind of pissing me off. I just feel like I'm back in old school world here. All right, running, I tapped run. Yes, it's building down here. Yes. Instantiate class worked, David.
All
So,
right. Cleaning
Folks,
something helped.
If you know why Android Studio and why we each had to go, how much time do we waste? Why that had to happen?
No.
And or know why that happened? That'd be great to know because this is one of those. Yeah, that happens kind of eye roll things.
This is one of those great learning moments if you want to flip it around and learn. We could have changed a bunch of code and then run the test, and they would have all failed, and we'd have thought it was from the changes we made, but it was some leftover cruft from something.
Yeah.
So running your test first is a good. That's
Test
a good learning
everything.
point.
And then the tests are like that one, like instantiate class. I mean, how can you get simpler than this class here, or this test over here? Hang on a second. I gotta get our key. There we are.
The simpler test is a compile
Oh, that's
failure.
true. There we are. There is one simpler. But yeah, how do you get simpler than this? If that kind of test fails, you know there's something smelly in the state of Denmark. Okay, enough Hamlet. So. We looked at a Shakespeare reference.
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
That's
All right. Cool. So, hey, we're back. We're right where we want to be now. Fail.
We're ready to go.
And so we're trying to write a test. We're trying to test drive something, and we know it works interactively. You saw that earlier when we were trying to troubleshoot this build environment problem. And by the way, I have to appreciate Stack Overflow for giving us that tip. Gradle clean. I don't know why Clean and Android Studio didn't do the same thing, but whatever. You know, if I asked all the questions I wanted to ask, I'd never get anything done. So, okay. So now let's do some test driving. So let's see. We want to build some functionality in there to put a dash after 3 things are entered. That's how Social Security numbers work, right? 3 things and a dash.
Yep. 3 things and a
Taking
dash.
out fail. And we're going to write a new failing test that simulates the situation that we want to test drive. So we're going to test drive this baby. So we got SSNTextWatcher instantiated, and then needs to take something. And we have up here a okay, so we made an interface last week, 2 weeks ago, folks. We made an interface. Boom, text interface. And that's our interface to the text box. And why we have that there is because last show, we wanted to actually not have an interface. We tried to put in the actual SSN field, and that creates all kinds of problems because we can't instantiate that in the unit test. That's a view object. If you want to instantiate view objects in Android in here, you have to do a whole bunch of complicated things. You can learn to do it, and probably someday we'll get there. But if you don't have to do that, why go through all that trouble? And when you do complicated things, you have to maintain it, and et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. So, anyways, we have an interface
So we turn left.
and we're decoupled now from that view object, so we don't actually have to work with the view object. So, yay! All right.
Okay.
So now we have this ability to create a mock object or call a test double. You can pick your favorite version of subterfuge that you care for. Yes. So we pass in something else that pretends to be that text box. So we need another one for this test. So because I can't actually compile right now. That's David was saying the earliest possible feedback mechanism is the compiler, and when you're compiling continuously, it's pretty quick. All right, so we have that text field, and we're going to put in text field here. Now, that will allow it to compile. So now we're on to the next step of our test. So now we may have to do some live running because we got to remind ourselves how to use this. So we have Watcher. All right, Watcher's going to take that. And it's going to analyze it and say, "Hey, I'm gonna hold on to this, and I'm gonna do things as data comes in, and we want it to do something when it gets 3 bits of 3 numbers."
So if Watcher is Watcher a text string? I don't know what a Watcher is. Can we ask for count on Watcher?
Let's find out. This is our class. We can add in more things as we need to. The most important things are these events, after, before, and on. So that's what's going to be called when real view is operating, the real view is going to call those three things. And so one of those three things is a thing that we want to add implementation to. So what we really want to do, I can't remember 2 weeks ago what we said. We picked one of them and said, this is where we're going to put our functionality. So we should call that one, if we can figure out what it was. We might have to go back and go back and watch last week's last show and find out, or we'll have to like maybe
make it up as
see if that. Let me see if that terminal, not the terminal, but the run. Does the run? The thing that output the the execution, I think it probably closed it. Well, okay.
I don't know what you're looking for.
Well, I'm looking for the output when I last ran the app that had the on fellows running, and I'm trying to decide which one we use. Is it after, before, or on? Okay. I think I have to rerun the...
Choose after. I think we should be... Yeah. I think we should be using after.
We're going to use after.
Because after text change, we want to know how many characters.
And if it was a bad idea, we get to complain to David later in about a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's always take good long. Somebody's got to step up.
All right.
All right, characters. Oh, wow. So characters are being passed in.
What does this thing return?
It returns... I'm going to say it returns nothing, but I don't know yet. There. Yay, it actually tells us. It returns a unit. Really? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what a unit is.
I don't know how to read that. Public fun.
It accepts characters and it returns a unit, whatever that is. All right. Let's do some investigation. I want to make sure. I don't want to put all the pressure on you, David. It might not be after. Let's look at this one now. Here, if I hover over this, it says takes the characters that are editable. So after somebody taps on it and changes the text, this is called by the view, and it passes in the characters that were edited and optional, and then it returns a unit, whatever a unit is. I don't know what a unit is. We're going to have to learn that.
Okay.
Before, so when somebody hits a button, before it updates the text field in the phone, this gets notification, and it says, hey, characters in text edit, character sequence. Okay, there's the characters in the text edit now, before the new ones come in, I believe. And it also has the cursor position. And thank goodness for these well-designed tools. So I don't know if there's more arguments or not out there.
And there's something over there that we don't care about.
Right. Probably. How the heck do I... let's try this one. Hover. There we are. All right, number of characters to replace. So that means... So the good news, David, I spent a lot of time studying these things in the last few weeks.
Good. Because this one's smelling
all
better.
Kinds of fun stuff in there. Number of characters replaced is if you highlighted in the text edit and you replaced a bunch of characters, it will tell you the number of characters it's going to delete.
Info.
Or replace, I should say.
Okay.
There's more stuff in here that we care about in that case. Until we'll care eventually. And then the number of characters being added. So this lets you know a lot of stuff before it updates the view on that text box. So I have an opinion now.
Okay.
And we're going to try that one next. I think we want to add the dash after everything's settled in.
After everything's
so when you type
settled in.
David's social security number, folks, just for the record, is 689. After that is entered in, I want to add a dash, and then eventually want to get to 62. And after that's entered in, we want to add another dash. And then, let's see, what was it again? 3,
the rest of my social security number.
8, 6. Sorry, David, I had to. It was for the show's sake,
I think that's my wife's, not mine.
I believe states are maybe there's you can sometimes know where they're born, what state they're born in by that first 3.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. I never tried to.
We should all share our social security codes over on the Twitter so we can all figure that out, folks. At least the first 3. All right, but my daughter, by the way, she was born in China, and her social security number, I believe, starts with a 888. So,
Oh, because she's not born in the U.S., but she's a U.S.
right,
citizen.
right.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah. So, and then if you're an immigrant, there's probably another set of numbers. So, like my wife, but yeah. So I can almost
Yeah.
test all these cases and ask all the right questions with my
From
family.
your own family. You're a family
Yeah,
test
right, right.
case.
You know, when we travel, it's like the UN. There's a lot of passports involved and citizenships, blah, blah, blah. Holy cow. All right, so my belief is we should start on after. Let's type it out. See what. All right, let's actually after. Come here, hover. Okay, so that just takes an editable.
No, I thought we wanted it before text
Well,
change.
no. So before text change means the characters haven't populated the text box. So you know, I could be wrong here, but I felt like we should get those first 3 digits in the text box, and then we add the next dash in the text box. That's what I think.
Yes, I agree, but after text change doesn't give us the capability.
How do we know that? Actually, I'm looking at this. So it takes.
Whereas before text change gives us that capability.
Oh, you're saying we're gonna like. What's the word
We
here?
can get the character
Oh,
sequence
we're gonna
here.
like adjust the character sequence before it gets on the text box. All right, I like what you're saying, man. I'd buy that. All right.
So I'm suggesting before text change, and we need to get all those parameters
Yes.
fed in so that they can get updated and give back to us.
I'm buying that. And
So,
folks, this is how it works in the real world. Sorry, this is why our software is kind of complicated. Is nobody knows exactly what to do. We have our guesses, and you could sit here and debate it. Like David and I could like disagree. We could keep reading the code, but you really just want to try it out, and that's how you really break through. So we're trying it out right in a unit test. Nothing's going to kill us by adjusting it for a different strategy if it doesn't work out. So we're going to create a character sequence, and let's see, we got to do a var. Yeah, I think so, var. And we got to call it a character. So these are characters in text box, and equals character sequence. I might have to import something. That's probably why it's not coming up. Something like that. And let's see, I'm gonna hover over this to make sure I'm spelling things right. Char sequence, well, that's why it's not working. It's always tough when you work with people who like to use acronyms. Like, when are they gonna slap you with an abbreviation?
Yeah.
All right, Kotlin.
Yeah.
Is that gonna work? It's an interface. All right. We got it.
So my guess is you need to declare character in text box as that type, and then just do a quote.
Okay, so character sequence is an interface, and I just move the mouse pointer over string because I thought, oh, it's probably just a string. So look at the string. So what it says is Kotlin public final class string is a comparable comma character sequence. So I could just use a string. That's what that means to me. So a string is a character sequence, which makes sense. So we're just going to do this.
Yeah.
Let's just put in one.
Just
character.
leave it like that.
Oh,
No, we want the empty string. We're going to give this function that empty string, and it's going to tell us before we changed anything what that string is and give it back to us.
Okay. So you're saying, see this test up here? It's okay. We can change our minds. So we're not going to do this. We're going to do the scenario is one letter is added and one letter shows up in the text field, right? No? All right, I meant letter, but I meant
We
number.
can still do that test, which is Can I
Yeah, go
write
for
it?
I'll just decline your request. That's all. No.
Oh man.
Oh, you're probably in Dvorak.
Don't
Here,
be
let me
declining.
fix that for.
Oh, don't
Oh, come
Dvorak me.
on. Everybody in the show, switch those keyboards over to Dvorak. You heard it here first. There we go. Go ahead.
Okay.
I got to get my other keyboard plugged in.
I
What's
get
going on?
nothing.
All right, let me
I
tap.
can't.
Okay, does it work now?
No, I get a
Okay,
beep
so make
on my
another
end.
request. Or do I, maybe I need to decline it. Oh, you try first. You make another request.
I don't know where that requester
It's
is.
a dot in the Zoom, whatever it's called.
It says stop remote control, use my keyboard
You know
layout,
what?
use
That's
Lance's keyboard layout. I'd rather use mine.
How sophisticated. Does that mean I can turn it back to
Yeah.
Dvorak? Because that's where it stopped working,
I
right?
don't know. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to switch it.
Okay, try
I'm going to
that.
switch it back to Dvorak.
It's
Maybe we can all be friends here. I don't know. All right, want to try?
I'm still getting
Nothing. So make a new
points.
request, and if that doesn't work, whatever the word is. Declining your request? I'm not sure there's a word for that.
I don't know how to
Let me see
request.
if
I don't know where that
I'm not sure if I
is.
know how to do what this is either. Let's see here.
Participants,
Here.
invite.
Where is my Zoom dashboard? Fun with Zoom. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't see.
my screen is changing as fast as yours,
I don't.
so I can't figure it out
Zoom.
either.
It's not helping me any. I'm kind of lost on that. I don't know where that toolbar. Oh, because I hit it. That's why I can't see it. I have to push escape. Oh, fun with Zoom. All right, hang on a second. Escape. There, my toolbar is back. Remote controlled. All right, I'm going to stop it. Stop it, David. Okay, now I can give you remote control. Let's try that. How does that work?
That might. Click start. Oh, it just
you moved
said
the mouse.
something.
Good.
Okay.
Now are you in?
Yeah, I'm typing VAR,
That's not VAR.
and I got. Yeah.
So how did you?
VAR.
You're never gonna. David, you got to learn Dvorak now. So how did you? What was that menu item? You want to try? I don't know where you saw that menu item.
Use my keyboard. I'm going to use Lance's keyboard layout because why not change if nothing doesn't work? Now I just get a doink.
Okay, now try.
Well, I just get a doink.
All right.
So I can't control anything there. So I'm going to go back to use my keyboard layout.
You're moving my mouse. That's promising.
And I move the mouse. Oops.
Sorry, folks. David's usually much faster at typing in Dvorak than this. I don't know what his problem is today. All right. So clearly, I just need to change the keyboard layout to non-Dvorak, and I got to hide the toolbar because it's in the way again. Zoom, we got to work on something here. I mean, it's not just Zoom. All these bloody tools that aren't designed for pair programming get those toolbars in the way. All right. Now I got to go to English. And I got to go grab my keyboard, my hardwire keyboard. Okay. You're going to have to request it again because I turned it off, right? Oh, you don't. Oh.
Yeah, but I don't know where to request.
So I have to escape here. Yeah, I can't, and I barely know how. Okay, remote controlled.
There's a stop remote
I didn't
control.
stop it then.
I'm going to stop it.
All right.
I hit stop remote control, request remote control. I found it again. And then I clicked it on your screen and gave myself remote control, I guess. I don't know.
Impossible. All right, now go. Can you go?
No.
Remember the old day back, the episode a while back when we used a pair programming tool, which actually made all this work pretty well. It cost a little money, and then we said, no, we'll use Zoom. And then we later learned that Zoom is kind of kludgy. Apparently, we're going to have to work out a better pair programming tool. So I'm going to give it to you again. All right, now go. I think it'll work. Fingers are crossed. Yeah, the mouse is moving.
It says click to
You're
start.
in English or whatever,
And now-
US keyboard.
Now I'm there.
Everybody's learning like, I'm not pairing
he
with Lance.
types a
He uses
var.
Dvorak. Ew.
I don't know who typed those characters in.
I was
but-
picking up my keyboard, my Dvorak hardwired keyboard. That was me. Sorry.
Okay, now I don't remember what I was
Something
going to
brilliant,
do.
though. I remember it was going to be brilliant. I had to do with...
But
You and I were discussing. I was saying, like, characters in TextBox should be 3 characters because we want to trigger the event, the functionality that adds the dash. And you said... You said no to me, David.
I need the rest of these. How do I get the rest of the parameters for this before text change?
Can I would, well, okay, yeah, let me just tell you. You hover on it, and it's not helping you because, why? All right, I can't tell you. I have to try it for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to delete. Type on my other keyboard here. I'm dual keyboarding this one, folks. Don't try this at home.
Do not do this at home.
Professionals only, folks. This is the professional zone. Dot.
Oh my God! You deleted stuff. We're gonna need that.
Wow, it's not helping me at all. What's going on here? Why is my watcher not? Good Lord. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna have to delete this bar. I think that's messing up the IDE. There we are. Okay, you take over. I think you'll get it now. You type watcher dot before.
I take
Good
over.
grief, it's not. All right.
Take.
So
take
next show
over.
we got to get a better tool.
How do I take over?
Oh, I thought you just start typing, and I heard you typing.
Well, I don't know if it's listening to me now or not.
It should always, David.
I hear a
It
dink.
should be listening to you all the time. I keep telling everyone, listen to David. All right, I'm gonna click on this.
This is.
What is going on? You did that.
I'm stopping my remote control, and then I'm requesting remote control.
Wow.
And you're gonna. Do you see the screen that says request remote
No.
control? I do.
Are you?
I do, and it says request remote control from Lance Kind screen. You don't see the screen
It sounds like
that I'm moving
I don't
around.
understand what's going on.
I don't know why I can see the screen, but I'm going to click request. Oh, this is
Sorry,
confusing.
Zoom guys. Maybe we need to do a show with the Zoom folks, and maybe they can like tell us the right.
We need a Zoom expert here because they've done something
Crying
weird.
out loud is what I have to say about that.
I can't.
All right. Oops, sorry.
Still
You're typing.
can't
That was you.
type. Oh,
Yeah.
that was me? Okay, it just takes a
Well,
while.
it's not you, David. It's
get-
it's totally the software. I've worked with David, folks. He can type when he hits the keys. The things usually happen, and this is Zoom.
Now, I want to insert everything that it's asking me. How do I do that?
Well, I don't know.
How do I say yes, accept that, and put it in?
Maybe a tab. No, I think you got to type it. It's gonna float there until you type it in. It's not gonna be that helpful.
What?
Hey, this is the top of line IDE. Swear to God, but
I have to type in the characters
text
in
box, hit enter.
text edit,
I don't think you want that.
and then I don't want an equal sign there. Characters in text edit colon,
Oh,
and then I want characters in text box. Oh my gosh, could you be more verbose? Comma.
Cursor position. That's an integer. Yeah.
Position. And an integer, I'm going to call it POS, comma. Come on back with my, it won't, because it doesn't know what a POS is. Var POS equals 0. Now will it give me the thing back again?
Yeah, maybe delete the comma and type again. Come on, there we are. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think, to me, in this scenario, it's 0. You could hard code it. And in this one, count of characters added. This one, this is where you and I have differences. I don't know. Okay, you're gonna do 2.
I don't care what the numbers are right now. I'm just trying to get my things in there.
Nice.
So we need these variables so that it can populate them, right?
I think you want count of characters added :2 instead of equal to.
Okay.
And then I'm with you. That one's good, but then the line below is what I was talking about. What's going on here? I'm confused. It's trying to help you, I think. I don't know what it's trying to do, but it's not happy. Anyways, I say slug it out and then put a parenthesis.
Slug it out. I think I've got it.
It's all cranky.
Except now I want those to be variables because count of characters to add. Now, I may be wrong. I may be really wrong, which is why you're disagreeing with me, is because I'm probably way off base.
It's okay. This is why I give you space. Let the learning begin. Either I learn or you learn. I don't know who's going to learn.
Okay. So I'm of this weird assumption. Damn it! That if I can control the keyboard with the lag time and everything.
Next show we're gonna use a tool. By the way, folks, I've been using Pop. I like it. Works a heck of a lot better than
Pop.
Zoom. Yeah. And it's free during COVID times, which is, maybe not upon us anymore, but we'll see.
Okay. Never heard of Pop, but I'm willing to try anything that
works.
Gives
But we found things that
flow
work. We're happy with the Mac one. I forgot its name. And then the one before that we tried, was that Screen.io?
Yeah, we didn't have much success with that for some reason. Tulip or Tuple
was the Mac one. That one worked well, but it's a Mac only product. Yeah. That's for, if you don't like to work with your Windows people. Right. It's a good one. Perfect tool.
Yeah. So my theory is that, what is my theory? My theory was that this was a callback.
It is.
And that it was going to be executed.
The view is going to call that. And now we're working like the view, and we're going to call it. And then we're going to write assertions to see if it's behaving the way we want it to.
Okay, so I'm asserting that after we type in some characters, but before we type in the fourth character, we want to watch for that event.
Yep.
And then we would have characters in box, which would be 3 of them.
So actually, I think you're pointing out some interesting points. Number 1, if there's only one character in the box, what's supposed to happen?
we
Nothing
continue.
happens. Can we say that?
Yeah,
And 2 characters
nothing.
in the box.
Yeah,
What should happen?
nothing.
The
Nothing.
3rd character on before text change, what should happen?
Nothing.
3rd character? Oh, okay.
The 3rd
Well, maybe.
character
Let me go to 4th then.
We're on before. Yeah, the 4th character, we want to grab that event, hold on to it, and go, hey, we want to sneak a dash in before you get your 4th character.
Interesting. So you and I are picturing 2 different things, and it's okay. I don't know what the right answer is. I thought after the 3rd character, we add the dash. So the users type along, da-da-da-da. They add the dash as soon as that, it's like prompting you, hey, the dash is here. Because, David, I think if you don't do that, they're going to put the dash in for you. They're like, oh, this stupid thing didn't put a dash in.
You're absolutely right. But that was assuming that we could get this information for the after text changed. But when we switch to the before text change, now we have to change when we do our sneak move of sticking the dash in there. And the problem is now that we can't stick the dash in early enough because they'll go, oh, there's no dash.
Okay.
I'll hit
I
a
hear
dash.
you. You're saying after text change. Okay. Yeah, and this may be what we have to work with because this is the Android API. No, you have an interesting point. I think the problem is, for some reason, we don't think we can use after text change because that seems more logical. But I'm still feeling like when they hit the 3rd character, before that 3rd character shows up, we need to set a signal to add a dash so that when after text change happens, it will put the dash in. Oh, see, now I'm talking about orchestrating between those 2 callbacks. It probably sounds complicated because it is. You told me the right answer. You said you have to put the dash in after text change when there's 3 freaking characters in there, right? Yeah, and I agree with you. So ideally, we just go to after text change callback and we build it all in there. But I think the problem is it doesn't have enough capability, and so we have to put the signal. So the reason why I'm coming up with this, Dave, is because I've been working with this silly API for a long time. Well, for 1 hour a week for a while, and so I recall now, because I was asking myself the same question, like in this other implementation that I'm doing at work, where they think I can program in Android, they did use both events, and I'm like, why is that? But now I'm starting to understand that you're right. The after text change is where we want to insert. So the question now is, can we pause a second and look at the after text change API, like, hit enter beneath here, and then just see what the after text change offers? Because if it doesn't offer what I think it offers, then whatever I'm talking about doesn't matter. So after text change takes a characters editable, and there's nothing stopping it from writing to the text field. I think we can do that in any of these events because we have okay, why am I saying that? Because we have the interface, man. The interface is how we set the text. Like with that interface, we can set the text in anywhere we want. So we have that capability. It isn't passed into us. You don't see it in the parameters, but we have the capability because it's in the class. Does that make sense?
No, but I'll trust that you know what you're talking about because I say that editable is passed to this method. It's a parameter. It is passed to it.
Well, I don't know what editable is exactly. That might be our ability to edit it. Sounds like it, right? Okay. So we have to decide something here. So it sounds like we got 2 ways to do this.
And I don't know enough about these methods to know what they do.
Good news is characters editable is a lot less parameters than the one we just built. So how about we comment out that stuff, assume we can do this on...
Let's go for it. Yeah.
So I'm going to comment out all this stuff because it's possible we'll have to pivot right back to this one after we learn a few things. And let's do this other version of Watcher. Or maybe we can, you know what? It might be cleaner if we just, stop it. We can make a second unit test? I don't know. Okay, so Watcher, that part's the same. And this part's the same. Override, oh, okay. And by the way, this is our, we'll have to put a spy in here sometime and then we can see what gets written to. If you're probably wondering, like, how the heck do we get the data out of there? Well, our spy will do that. So watcher.on, what is it after?
After.
There's got to be,
Text
oh,
change.
look at that. I hit a tab and it said, hey, why don't you put in an editable?
Characters editable.
So characters, colon editable. All right, characters. Now what the heck is implements editable? I don't know. I would say string again, but I know string didn't say that when I hovered up above here.
It's probably another interface that.
Oh, hover here then. Let's try it because sometimes something else in that chain might inherit it. So if I put a string here, you want a parameter, right? Bar.
Oh, okay.
Text. All right. What's text box? Text. Can I say that? And that's equal to just a string. Okay, and it doesn't like it. Probably because it doesn't implement that editable. Unexpected type specification.
Put the colon right beside the characters. It may be that didn't help.
Let's see here. All right. Could be a bunch of reasons. Let me try putting in editable. Let me just new up an editable. Foo, that's an editable type, and that takes an Android text. Press return to insert, backspace to replace. Okay. I don't know how to make an editable though. So foo would work, but well. So what goes in an editable? I think we have to do a Google here because all right, maybe there's a way to get the IDE to help us. All right, so there's an editable. It's an interface, implements, a whole bunch of stuff. I want to see who implements this. Yeah, okay, strings are immutable. That makes sense. All right, so it says it can be, if you make it out, like, so always the problem with interfaces is we're always, so IDE makers and whenever you tell us about interfaces, you got to give us a link to tell us what implements it, because that's the rest of the story there. Kotlin. Oh, what? What's going on? Somehow my keyboard shifted to Dvorak, David. I must have did that.
Hey, I don't know how many cables and wires you've got going on in that.
I can't do double Dvorak. That doesn't work.
Workspace of you, but yeah.
Kotlin, editable, implements, and no, I don't care what. All right, I want to know what implements an editable. That should be in here. That should be in here somewhere. Come on. Wow, lady.
I'm going to bet that capital T text.
Oh, yeah? Okay, let's try it. I'm not.
Implements
I remember
editable.
something about that. That was probably, I didn't take that literally, but you're probably right. All right, let's do that. Excuse me.
Which is like a text view. If I'm making connections to Swiftland.
Oh, that's a different text. There's more than one text.
Oh,
well, there's going to be more than one thing called text. So okay. I think it's a Kotlin. Was it Kotlin.text? Is that what we saw?
Probably.
I guess it wasn't. All right, let's hover. Where did we see that hint? Because I saw the same thing.
maybe it was in the watcher after text.
Oh, over here.
Yeah.
Text edit basic. Let's go back to this bloody site. Known or indirect subclasses. I don't think I care about that. Editable factory. Well, we don't want to view. Wow, I feel like we got ourselves in a bit of a mess again. I'm starting to see view stuff. All right, I'm going to ask the internet this. Kotlin implements editable. Implements. I don't know the keyword. Is it implement or implements? Edit on text change. Example. Wow, this is really slowing us down here.
Do you see that add text change listener?
Yeah, that's what we called add our listener. So that's in the view. That we had to call that in our code to register ourselves as a listener to text changes, as a text. Well, yeah, to add a text watcher object to some thing.
Oh, so we called that with our SSNTextWatcher, huh?
Yeah.
Or we need to.
We did.
Maybe
That's,
we
otherwise
haven't
we wouldn't
yet.
get that. When we run it in the simulator, we wouldn't get any of that information coming out.
Okay.
Guys, you just got to tell us how to create an editable without having to do something complicated. And I'm afraid I'm not seeing that information in here.
There was an editable in that text. I scrolled by way too fast for me to read it. Go, I don't know. I don't know which way. It's hard to know.
Editable. There was an editable in this text. Okay, let's search for that. Yeah, that's that interface. Yeah, well, our text box is an editable, but it's a view, so that's the other problem. Text.editable. That might be what you saw. I'm going to keep hitting search. That'll get down here. And then it's got this in the interface, just like what we're working on. Object is attached to an editable. When a text what? I know. I don't care though. I need an object. All right.
So the problem here, if I try to state it, is that we have editable, which is an interface, and we need an object like a string that actually implements the editable interface. That's not a view.
Oh, well, maybe the editable interface is simple. Let's go back here and make one. All right, let's try that. That's an interesting point. Editable interface. So let's see. We're going to declare a class somewhere here, just right above this test. Class. I'm going to use foo until we figure out if we even care to give it a good name. Is it implements?
No, I think it's well, I don't know how you do it in Kotlin land. I would thought it was like this, where you could do that.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know either. All right, so class. It's not abstract. Perfect. Implement as constraint. Yeah, implement it. Just needs a length. That's pretty simple.
So is this going to implement that for you? Okay.
It needs more than that though. And wow, look at that nastiness. It's okay. We'll make it anyhow.
Is that saying that
That's the interface.
in order to be editable, you have to implement all these methods?
Absolutely. And why didn't they show up? I said, go ahead.
I think it just did one.
I don't know what's going on. You silly goose. Can I say git? Do I have to like do this 80 million times? Implement members. Do them all, man. Oh, I have to pick them? Okay, I have to pick them. All right, there we are. Boom. We're going to have ourselves an editable. And that's why, folks, we have these silly little expanders so we can hide garbage like that. All right, cool. So I'm going to rename this from that to be a mock editable. Is that okay? Well, yeah. Is that okay? Editable. And now we have an editable to put in here. And then I think we're going to be good because it's just one parameter. We've been fighting one parameter. Oops. Down here. Okay, we have to instantiate one of these. So what's the editable really? Like the underlying thing is that's simulating the box, the text in the box. So I
I guess.
This should be just equals mock editable, and I think it takes some parameters, some int length. Okay, well the length is going to be
23.
And that's it. Only one parameter, I guess. Come on, IDE, fill that in for me. I'm not having a good IDE day. It's not, I don't know, I must have something else wrong because it's not helping me. Characters, is it not characters? Okay, it's not characters. Wow, you don't have to, I don't have to mention the parameter names.
Okay. I can deal with that.
Yeah, well, it's a different language, so whatever makes it happy.
Okay.
So I think we got it. We got it there. We just need to now figure out how to build an assertion to assert that if there's only one thing in there, don't do anything. If there's three things in there, do something. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So let's just first assert that there's two things in there. Somewhere in between.
Okay, so that's all driven from this. So in this mock object, I'm going to have to look at this. We're going to have to look at this mock object. I'm going to have to,
Yeah, it's going to have to do something,
I have to
right?
take a bio break, David. So I'm going to have to step away for a minute. If I get this on screen for you, and maybe you could start looking at this API. There it is, this mock object that's hiding. So one of those is going to tell it how many characters there are. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
One of those is going to tell us how many characters there are.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Look,
like there should be a count.
Yeah, I think so.
Is what you're saying. Okay.
Or yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I'll
I'll see you in a minute. I think so. Maybe you were. Maybe I don't.
Give it to you. Oh.
Because I guess I was doing the same thing that you were doing, and I thought
It
I
says
was
it's
doing
waiting
it.
for David Kuhn's. Oh no, it says you're. Oh wow, I didn't know that. There's a little bit of feedback. If you have the toolbar visible, it'll tell me that you're controlling. But take a look at that. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay. Okay, here we go. We're at the bottom of this thing. We've got filters, clear span, clear, might use that, delete, insert. There's something that we could use at some point. Insert, replace, append, remove span, set span, next span, span start, get span, a lot of spans, get characters. Get characters function, does it return anything? No, it doesn't. Character array, subsequence, get index, subsequence, get characters. It looks like we're going to need to mock implement get characters and then count them ourselves. P0, P1, P2, value parameter int. P1, I don't get that. Is it, what did that pop up? I have no idea why that was popping up, but yep, there's, okay, see if this is an array of characters. When targeting the JVM instance, this class is by character array. Value parameter, okay. P2, good to know that it's a P2. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 ints in this method that we don't know what they do. Oh, look, what was that? Okay, that's telling us the same thing. Not helpful, but okay. Interface get characters. Not helpful. But if we were to do something in here, we could perhaps print P0 equals, dare I try to do something like this? It's a Swifty thing. I'm thinking that didn't work. Plus P0. Wonder if that's legal Java, legal Kotlin. Oh, P2 is the character array. Okay. All right. Wonder how we run this thing. Cheer test, Kotlin. Value cannot be reassigned. I'm guessing that it doesn't like the fact that I tried to reassign this string to that P2 character array. So, okay, I won't do that, and I'll run the test again.
Oh, cool, you're running tests.
I'm trying to override the get characters function and figure out what's going on. I'm doing low-level debugging by print statements.
Oh no! Gone for a few minutes.
Yes.
The print statements are they're
yes.
They're
You
back.
You were gone for just a few seconds. Yeah, and the print statements are already back. Okay, it didn't help us any. I don't know what's going on.
So have you found out anything that tells us in an editable how many characters are in it? Oh, get cars is one.
No, there.
Oh, interesting.
There's nothing, but there is this that
okay.
I was hoping. Well, I don't know what I was hoping, but I've never called get character, but I thought I would just start overriding this function and see if I couldn't jack with it a little bit to find out if I could put things into that character array. But I've never called get characters.
So it's a getter. It's supposed to return to you something that you may not be able to change, but it tells you what's in there. So, but it gives it to you in a character format, which is maybe not, which I think would work. I don't think it's the best one. I mean, I'm looking for just a whole string. Give me the whole damn string. And then let me work out how long the string is using those APIs because they're just more familiar.
Well, that's what I was going to get at, was if get character was going to give me the array of characters in P2, and could I change that array of characters in P2 by putting David was here into that array?
I don't think you care about that. I think you just care about getting things out of this mock data structure, because you remember our event isn't like adding characters into it. Well, it may. It's an editable, right? But right now it's like we just need to answer the question: how many characters are there now, so I can decide if I have to take action. So, but yeah, no, I think there's a couple interesting things. Look at this get. What does that do? That returns the character at a specific index. All right. So if you know how many, how do I say this? If you know how many locations there are, you can do that. Since we initialize it with a length, this length is probably the size, returns the length of this character sequence. Okay, so it's a fixed length sequence that's editable. And we told it was 22, which okay. So, 23. Yeah, I know, I didn't even bother to count. I said, well, David knows how many characters. If not, we'll change it later. So it's good enough. So I think this get will get the characters, and it looks like it's going to return them 1, 0. Okay, I'm still a little confused what it does, just to be clear though. So this is a getter, and it returns a unit, whatever the heck a unit is. And that unit as input, get characters takes as input and a bunch of integers, an array. I don't know. That is. Okay. I think what it's doing is loading up that character array, and those integers are like subsequence parts or something. I'm hand waving that one out. I mean, what kind of library has p0 as a parameter name? I'm sorry, but that's like what? Well, that must mean position 0, but then it takes an integer. I don't understand that at all.
It's parameter 0, parameter 1, parameter 2, and parameter 3. Obvious names for parameters.
I want to slap somebody. You heard it here on TD.Academy. Whoever wrote this API, I want to slap you right now because this is lousy. Yeah, no, I haven't been very happy with Kotlin in that regard. That they haven't even reached the minimum bar to come up with parameter names. So I'm sorry. Let's see. Let's focus here. So pen bullet pend get should return a unit. Oops. Get span. I don't think I care about. Get character should return something that's a unit. Now, I don't know what a unit is. I guess we got to learn what a unit is, and then that might answer all of our questions. If from the unit,
Well, let's look up what a unit is. It might be like a tuple.
Oh, I think you touched on it. All right, let's go to, so really, what the heck is this in a editable? Editable.getCars. Ooh, I gotta get my keyboard over here. Wow, that doesn't look the same. Here it is.
Destination off is the fourth one. So start and end of something.
Come on. To replace, because that's editable. Wow, okay, let's do a search. Get cars is another implementation. Okay, so we probably have to go to another implementation to see the story on that. Oh, wow. This is what you were saying earlier. Exactly like string get cars, copy character start through end from this character sequence into the destination, begin at the offset dest off. Okay.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
It means we can get all of the characters out of there, but I don't care about that. I only want my needs are simple. Our needs are simple. We just want to know how many characters have been written in this bloody string. Does anything in this interface help us with that? I'm not.
I don't think with our limited knowledge about this interface, everything points to something that may help,
Yeah.
but
Spannable. Let's take a look at this.
I mean, I would certainly expect to get back in the array of characters an array, and I'd know how to deal with an array.
That might be what we do. I was just trying to make it even simpler though. But that makes sense. We could work with that, is what you're saying. Yeah, I agree with you. Because then the range I'd pick is just the whole range, 0 to whatever my length is, which is 23, and give it to me, and then I'll have to go check each one. I'll have to write a bunch of code, which I'm trying to avoid doing. I don't want to write code. Sounds funny. Okay, so but now let's go to let's look at some of these sub-interfaces. We're spending a lot of time learning today, but that's sometimes what you have to do. So this interface has one item on it. Holy smokes. And this interface has a length, which might work, but we don't know for sure. Like, what does it do?
I didn't know what interface you're referring to.
So this is editable, inherits a bunch of methods, and it has this one here, this interface is called car sequence. Here, let me collapse this. All right, so editable is an interface, and by the way, it inherits a bunch of other interfaces. Car sequence, get car, spannable, appendable, and band. And car sequence tells you about the character at a specific place, and it tells you about the length. Whoa, ding, 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 ding. That sounds kind of good,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
And we could.
And it has a two-string. Look at that.
Yeah.
So it's the
Okay,
simpler
let's try that.
interface of the interfaces, and it has a length in
Yeah.
it. And I don't know how you found this page, but somehow this page relates back to editable.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the editable
Okay.
documentation.
I didn't. Okay. Can't follow that so fast on your screen through.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So the main
Okay,
thing
cool.
is there's a bunch of other interfaces. Yeah, no, I'm trying to make a comment on design, but I'm not sure I could do better. These things are complicated is the end result. I'm going to switch this page to Kotlin. I didn't know I was looking at Java. Apparently it knows something about me. Get cars, or chars, or whatever we want to call it.
Oh, I thought it was get. Yeah, I thought it was car sequence that had a length in it. I may be wrong.
Why am I confusing? Am I confusing myself? Get cars. Wow, maybe I'm okay. Yeah, I may have misspoke there. Oh, car sequence. All right. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, I think this tells us like some pretty good stuff, and that we can get length. And whoops. So we need to do a double check on this, David. So we can implement our mock object, and we can write unit tests against our mock object, but we have to know that we're doing the. By the way, you look no, you're not frozen. You're thinking hard.
I'm just sitting here going, I'm listening.
No, oh my God, the screen's frozen.
That's my frozen.
So we need. So folks, whenever we're doing mocking, we have to make sure what we build the behavior we build in our test is actually reflective of what it does in reality. Otherwise, we end up doing TDD against the wrong thing.
We don't.
So we need to go back to our simulator, and we're going to use David's tried and true technique of learning about the world in the simulator, not in a unit test, but in a simulator, to see if when we do get length, if it prints out things that we think it should print out when we fill in the simulator. Sound like a plan? Because if it works the way we think it was, we're golden, baby. We know what to do next, and we know how to write the code for that. Okay, let me switch here, back to the screen. Yeah?
You might want to get rid of that code.
Oh yeah, here. We're just gonna
Delete it. It's easy enough to write again.
Okay. I'm gonna miss that David was here though. That's a key point.
Well, you
Show highlight right there, folks.
Yeah.
I just deleted David. All right.
Just as long as you still have a social security number, that's all.
All right, I gotta hide this floating tool panel, which is always in the way. Hide. Okay, there we are. Now, all right, so we got to go back to the. So how we test this is we go back to the real deal. We go back to the real deal SSNTextWatcher here, and we're talking about doing this on AfterTextChange right here, right? And we just need to change this. We just need to change this to, we'll add another print line. David, do you want to do the honors on this one?
You think I can actually control the screen?
Idea.
We've gone through this role. Yeah, but it's not controlling right. I think that might have been my mistake. Is there a print or a print?
Probably would do a character turn on this one. So yeah, print line, and then do like the length. You could type in length colon, and then we're going to do characters.length. Boom. It's pretty simple, actually. It's always simple after you figure out how to do it. So folks, if you were the developer who just used this yesterday and you already knew the answer, you're like going like, why are those guys so slow? Well, you have to figure it out. And if you're the developer who used this just yesterday, you probably spent some time figuring out what we're figuring out now.
All right. You think our value is going to end up being something other
whatever's in
than
there. How come but it's not happy.
Okay.
So we got to probably do, it's probably is there a get in front of it? Oh, get character sequence. No, I don't know what it is. Sorry, you're going to have to use the IntelliSense. I'm not sure. It's not happy with you. Well, characters.length has a red thingy on it. Why is that?
Characters, I believe, is our value here, right?
That dot.
And
there's
then
a length right there.
we should be able to do the
the length is right above there. Hit enter.
Length, yeah.
And it sticks the red underline there. Okay, maybe this is just the IDE being a jerk. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think you need parentheses. I think it's a, what's it called?
It says it's a value.
Yeah. So
how do I do a build? What did Control B do?
I don't know. Don't know. I'm just going to click on that tab. So I'm going to just do something because why is that?
Yeah. I got nothing there.
I'm just going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
So thank you. I'm just not being sold on this IDE, to be honest. Everybody loves it.
Well, it probably works fine if you know its idiosyncrasies, and we don't know it.
This just doesn't make sense. So yeah, building is go to the menu, and there's a build, and make project, or butterfly F9.
Oh.
Which is, don't think the same as it is on Eclipse, but. All right, what's it say? Oh, it's because it's, what? Is it nullable or something? Saying, okay, the build failed. It said, please remove usages of JSON or blah, blah, blah. Oh, Lord.
Is it saying that this thing may be nullable and we're not assuming it's nullable, so we're going to go bang?
Maybe. That's good.
And is it bang or bang bang in
it's
Kotlin?
Bang bang, I guess.
But it's still red there.
And it doesn't give us a quick fix. I have no idea. Can I look at the, I'm going to drive for a second. I'm going to look at that build output a little bit closer. Only safe or non-null calls are allowed on a nullable receiver of type editable ? So this part's nullable. So you got to go bang bang maybe there.
Yeah.
Why is it two bangs? I don't know.
Yep.
So this might crash.
Is it bang bang or bang?
I don't know if there's nothing typed in, what will happen.
The bang bang means we're going to unwrap that thing, and if it's null, we're going to crash.
And I have a feeling it's going to be null and we're going to crash.
Yeah, because after the text changed the first time, I don't know. I don't know when it's going to get called.
All right, I'm going to do something here. No, we're going to run it. I'm not going to even worry about it. I'm trying to protect us from a crash I don't know will happen. So that's just stupid because we're just writing a little bit of prototype. So let's just see what happens. As long as the debug cycle isn't too long. Otherwise, I say we could use a trinary operator to say if it's null, just print 0 and be done with it. Launch succeeded. All right, is it going to switch screens or do I have to do that? I think I have to do that. What happens if I tap on that? No. Okay. System UI is not responding. I don't think I was nice to it last time I closed it, so I think that's why it's angry with me. Come on. Wow.
Okay.
How do I? I might have to do something to really close the app because it's not following my.
Is it running away from you on the screen? Because
quite
to
the
me,
deal.
it's at the bottom of the
Now I actually
screen.
seem to have control of it. I already clicked close on it, so I'll click close again. Oh. Sorry, I probably should have done wait. Okay, so, wow. Okay, well, I'm going to say it's working. Let's go look at the,
Is that our out?
and let's go back to the screen here. Look at the output first before we start typing. Okay, remember Davey?
Oh, yeah.
David, they love
Don't
print lines too, whoever builds this stuff. So
Print lines are your friend.
don't listen to them, folks. All right, I'm trying to get our input device. All right, I'm hitting the first one. So when I hit this button, we expect the length to be,
Something
because it's
one.
after text edit. Is that right?
I think. I'm willing to just see
All
some
right,
data.
so I hit a 1. Our value, ta-da! David, this is really easy. Once we get the answer, we can code this like the demons. 2. Our answer, 2! David, we're on a roll, man. 3. 3! All right, well, so folks, the reason we had to double check though, because what if it wasn't that? We would realize, oh, we got to do something different. But now we know what to do. We know how to test drive this. So let's write a, here's my goal for so we can close the show, is to get a failing test that specifies what we want to do, and then the next show we'll get to pass. Okay. So let's go back to our test. Now, I don't know the best way to shut things down. I think I'm just gonna hit stop app. You know what, I'm gonna leave it hanging out there. This will use up some computer resources that I don't need. And go back to the test. And so in our test, now we know what to do, folks. We just need to go to the, oops, I'm looking at this mock object. I don't even care about this now, right? Oh, I do care about it. So we're gonna, yeah.
Are we using it?
We're gonna need to do some work here. And now we gotta really be succinct on what we're trying to test, because right now we got this, we're not testing this. I'm hearing this. Here's my proposal. Let's write the test that nothing's entered yet. That's the simplest one. I think we can get the pass, and then we can write a second test. So after text change does nothing when nothing's been entered. Is that fair?
Okay. That is a smaller step than I would have taken.
Yeah. And then next one is,
and that's
basically you can see the progression.
That's a lesson I'm repeatedly not learning, is take small steps. So
it does nothing, and we have a text interface which we don't care about, and we have a watcher that takes the text field, and now I don't think we need any of this now. I'm confident of that. And we have a text box with a mock edit. Now this mock editable needs to return what length?
Well, it ought to be mocking the reality that we're trying to. I'm lost. I guess it ought to return 0. Because
you got it. So we got to program our mock object to do that. That's why we had to really make sure we understood how the mock that if you're going to mock something, you better mock it right. And you get that from let's see, it's mock editable dot length.
Which is a method on a different interface.
Let's see how that's going to work here. So I'm going to try to just override. I don't know if I can override that like I want to. Oh, fun. Let's see here. Mock editable. All right, let's look. Let me see if I understand this. So TextBox dot length is right there, and it has a v. That means it's a value. Does that mean it's a class value? And it probably means I can't overwrite it the way I was thinking of overwriting it. But let me try. So is override not override now, or is it some other like shorthand? It is override. It's right up here. So override.
Well, it's a variable, so it's not a function.
Yeah, but I don't know what kind of. You know how it is. It might be a. What's the word in Swift?
Static.
Oh no, I don't. I hope it. It's not a static. It had to just be evil. But let's say it's a computed property. That's what I was saying. And I don't know what it is. Is there a way to know that before I go down this route? Maybe if I go back to this length.
I have no idea.
Value. So it's abstract value length. So it can be abstract. That means, wow, you can have abstract values in an interface in Kotlin. All right. So that means we should be able to implement.
I have no idea what an abstract value is.
Well, it's one of those. All right, so can I override an abstract value? Abstract value length, so it's a value? So I do a val?
Well, it was a val, not a var, which means to me that the VAL, not VAR, means that it's not mutatable.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of weird. It's abstract, so I'm a little puzzled by that little guy. But
Okay.
Damn it, we got to do something with that value. How do we change it? We either got to change something in our mock object
It's
so
not
that
changeable.
the length is correct. All right, and that's related to character sequence. So maybe something else in character sequence. Well, how do we set our character sequence? Well, we do a set. Why am I even looking at this? Let's go back to here. Let's just play with this. So here's what we want to do. Whoops, we still want the text box. And I've got a lot of mocking probably to do, but let's see. So text box dot set one of these. Ooh, I don't know. This is kind of scary. I don't know how to. Okay, start is 0. End is 0. Span is any. I don't know what that means.
If you had the word and, A-N-D, span would be 3.
But that's
I
type.
don't
any.
know
What
what
does type any mean?
Type
Yeah.
any, it means it's been type erased, in meaning that it is a generic type that it has to be cast, I suppose. In Swiftland,
All right.
any is
There.
erased
I think
type.
I made it compilable, though it's got a weird little thing going on. It should be replaced with indexing. Oh, see what it says? It says use
I
this
don't know what
S,
that means.
blah, blah, blah. I know. I feel this is weird. So, all right, I'm going to take a step back on this for a second. We might actually not have to write any of this code. Let's ask the test to tell us what's this length right now. And how do I do this? I'm trying to comment out, the toggle comment out. Comment out. Indent selection. Wow. So we're just going to do it the old school way. Or maybe it's this. No. All right, fine. So.
Did you have to write text? Did you have to actually type things?
So sad. Okay, I'm going to assert that the size of that, the length of that is 0. Text box text.length. Okay? And if it's already 0, I don't have to do any work. It's already done for me, right? So that's, my test isn't completed.
Well, I don't know
completed. I'm just trying to find out what this length is.
Okay. See if that test will pass.
And okay.
assertion error.
23. Interesting. Because that's how many characters that's the size of it, but that doesn't mean how many characters are in it.
That's the size we set it to. It's probably got pre-populated with spaces or something.
We have a mock object, and we demonstrated this. When we run it in the system, it should be 0. So we have to figure out how to get that length back to 0. That's the trick right now.
Hey man, it's time to go home.
All right.
The dogs are panting. It's time to go.
All right. So let's see here. We're going to stop here. And we need to figure out.
What did we learn?
Yeah. Hang on a second. Stopped here. Need to get control of length. All right, cool. Let's go up to our header. Where do we write? What do we learn? Here it is. Episode 31. If for no crazy reason at all the platform says you're missing a Java file, then run gradle clean test at the command line, and that magically makes it go away for some reason.
The gradle clean, the test is the next thing, which it then ran the test, but the gradle clean is what we needed to do. We needed to clean the Gradle temporary files, which the Kotlin IDE wouldn't clean for some reason.
I don't know why. That's very puzzling. So when starting up, and there should be no problem, as far as we know, if Java? Yeah, it was a Java error too. Java says the class is missing.
Your code sucks.
And yet the application runs. Oh, so that was when starting up and executing unit tests. Because it was a unit test build configuration issue. Okay.
Does this ID give you a way to bold the command?
This is a comment, so I mean, I could make it a
Yeah,
comment.
I know.
Maybe that helps.
I don't know.
And okay, cool. So that was one thing. That was 15 minutes there of learning, I think. Number 2. I don't know. We just had to. What do you have?
Well,
Did we?
well, I've got that we still can't use the Zoom
God, yeah.
switch. The Zoom switching drivers is difficult. And
I could probably
no
I could probably
reason.
ask them.
Yeah.
So they have by the way, Zoom, to its credit, has a pretty good customer support system. I could at least mention it. I don't know. Sometimes they call you back, right? And they're I've never heard of a social media company who actually
Does?
because Scott oh my goodness, who's the fellow who does the embedded tests that you took a class from? Scott Grenning? James Grenning.
James.
Oh, I have a James. I do they have similar last names. I get the syntactically screwed up.
Okay.
James Grenning. He got, I mean, Zoom called him back after he was complaining about some performance issues, and they got on the phone and did some troubleshooting. So maybe there's something to that, or they'll just say, no, it doesn't work, and we know that, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good at switching drivers for some reason. Next show. Because you like to drive sometimes, don't you, David?
I
There we
love
are.
to
Fifth
drive.
show.
I just don't always
Let's
like
use
to
Pop,
drive.
because I believe we still can use it for free for a while. And
Okay.
if it isn't free, I believe it's down to $10 or $20 for a license kind of thing. Anyways, it'll be free for now, and then we'll try it out at least. Pop.com, not Coca-Cola. Maybe Coke will buy them by accident though. Like, oh, we thought they were a competitor. Let's see. After that,
We've got a lot of learning to do in Kotlin / Java / Android
what we
land.
did learn specifics. We learned about editables, and we learned that I was surprised because in my other job, that's not live streaming, we're not using after text edit, right? Is that what we're talking about? Do I have that right?
After and before.
Yeah, after text edit, I think has all the things we need. After text edit, what's that event? Does what we need. It has the length. It's editable.
Yeah.
Those are two good things, man.
Yeah, but we need to edit before the user presses the dash button. And
Right.
in order to do that, you need to trigger on before text edit.
Okay, hang on a second. Let's make sure we're talking about the right
think.
same thing. So what did we actually use? Let's close this. Mock editable. After text change. Okay, we're talking about after text change. Text change. Okay, so everything you said, I'm with you, except I don't really agree. So when you type the third number, after that third number shows up, we can add the dash, right?
Okay. All right.
So it's whether it happens before. We know, actually, we discussed this already, and you won that argument, and now you can't change your mind now. You said that, we debated it, and you said, we decided that as soon as possible, we need to get the dash in. Is that a good way to say it? And the earliest possible time to get the dash in is after the third
character enters.
And that means not before, but after the, oh, wait, do I have that right? Oh, you might be onto something here. After the third character is added onto the text box, we could add a dash. But you're thinking actually before we add the third character, we add the dash. Okay, so I'm open either way. I'm not sure.
Whatever you said just didn't compute for me, but I'm obviously done for the evening. My brain is shut down.
Yeah, okay. After text change. That's why I always try to take a nap before the show.
Yeah,
I can
that
get
works.
groggy, however, but at least I'm whatever.
The before and after is of debate.
Yeah, I agree
still.
with you. I think either one could work. And I think if you're just going to be like the very earliest, very possible soonness, it has to be the before, which means we're working with the wrong API again.
But
I don't know why I can't see that a moment ago, but
the API for after text change is very different than the API for before text change.
yes.
Before text change, which one had all the different
Before
values?
has a ton of stuff. It's telling you all kinds of things.
It's got the four things, and after has one.
So in a way, it could be that either one will work, and we should look for the one that works most easily. So if we type watcher dot before text change, if it gives us the length without having to go through a lot of hoo-ha, we might care to use this. So it returns a character sequence, cursor position,
and that has a link thing.
number of characters to replace, and count of characters added. The count of characters added means the fresh set of characters. So if you're typing in one thing at a time, number of characters added will be 1. And number of characters replaced will always be 0 unless you're doing some highlighting and replacing. Cursor position. character sequence is the same interface that we were working with in editable, right? That's the one that has the length on it
I think so.
and a bunch of other stuff. And
I think so.
our mocking is unfinished, and that's why we're stopping right now, because we don't know how long it'll take us to get that mock object finished, because there's too many. It's a big thing. It's got all these it's complicated. It's a class that implements 3 different or 4 different other interfaces, and so it's complicated. So that's why it's a good time to take a break. I agree. Okay, so that's the other thing I think we learned is editable. It's kind of complicated.
That, and the dog is telling me he's got to go.
You're trying to say type faster. It's a good thing I'm typing.
Yeah, you want to see? You want to see the dog?
There's no dog there, David. That's not a dog. That's a decoy. I know a cat decoy when I see
that
one.
wasn't.
That keeps the cats off your deck. It's a cute dog. Implements character sequence, which has a length. Okay, cool. I think that's all. I mean, that's actually a lot to learn. I wished I learned more quicker, but I don't know how to do it. All right, man. Later.
How do we learn quicker?
We need to do a show about that and figure that out, David.
Experts teaching us.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got to invite the right person on the show. That is the most profound thing that was said in this entire show.
Yeah, let's just end it there.
X out.